Welcome back. Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Or it's for sure recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back to the For the Win podcast. We are recording this time. We missed last week's podcast, for reasons. Someone may or may not have forgotten to record the entire thing once we got done. But welcome back. It's a big week. Xbox Showcase is happening. I'm going to be at IGN Live in Los Angeles and reporting, giving all the skinny and live coverage. Lots happening. But tonight, for the next little while we play some Diablo still, because it's still good, we're going to talk about the Xbox Showcase. It's a pivotal, big, important moment for Xbox. There's been a lot of talk the last few months, a lot of negative, some positive. Lots has happened last year with FTC case, the acquisitions, yada, yada, yada. And this is a big moment for Xbox. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we would hope to see, maybe hopes, long shot dreams, and what this weekend could potentially mean for Xbox. So, with that being said, let's get into it. What are you trying to do with your character tonight? Do you need to farm Helltide? Do you need to what do you need to do, Russell Crowe?
I'm about, I think, 3,000 away from finishing the Wolf's
thing. I'm going to give your horse a little kiss
to get the max reward from the
Good
Wolf's
horsey.
thing.
Good horsey.
After that, I need stuff to master work my gear.
Okay.
And then after that, I would take any Ubers I can get right now. Would be great. I have.
By the way, we're Russell Crowe, the Roman Russell Crowe, and I'm Mr. T. In case you guys are wondering, Mr. T's got the awesome mohawk on him and his horse.
Correct. How'd you?
Okay.
Mohawk on the horse is great.
You like that?
I need to change my horse. Let me.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Let's go change.
I don't
go
even
to the
know
stable.
where the stable is. I haven't been to a stable
It's
in
down here.
years.
It's right here.
Okay, let's see. I need something Roman.
Strength and honor.
Let's see.
Strength and honor. So the Xbox Showcase is this weekend, guys. And for those of you who don't know, it's kind of the time of the year where Xbox basically reveals what they've been working on, what they are going to be releasing, what's new, what's coming down the pipeline. And it's an important moment for Xbox because there has been a lot of negative talk. And I'll start with this while John is changing his horse and we head to the Helltide. I was thinking about it this week, and something that went not viral but kept popping up on my timeline was the Mad World commercial from Gears of War, from way back, the E3 trailer when they first debuted Gears of War. And that trailer was a really big deal at the time. The Helltide just ended. Bummer. So that trailer was a big deal at the time. And it really, even pre-YouTube days, I think, it was right around the early days of YouTube, it was just going viral when viral didn't even really exist.
Yeah.
And it built a sense of hype that was almost unmatched in the gaming world. Just to watch that trailer, if you've never seen it, it still holds up to this day, to where it's this really somber song with the piano and this guy singing, and there's the main character, Marcus Phoenix. He's got his big armor on. He's running around with this chainsaw gun, and he's dodging like these aliens and firing guys, and like things are exploding all around him, and then he dives to take cover in like this dark room, and then he like looks up after like, you know, diving to the ground. He looks up and he just sees like a bunch of glowing eyes, and as the light comes into kind of the frame, you see a massive alien, and it's like the shot is from behind, like from his back, looking at this massive alien and group of aliens, and he just starts, then we get a close-up shot of like his face, and he just starts firing on it, and then it cuts back to the alien going to like stomp down on him. And it's just like, and it cuts to black, and it's like the song is Mad World, and Gears of War, you know, fades in. It's a work of art. And my whole thing with this weekend is, if Xbox really wants to kind of get back in the conversation, they need to have a Mad World moment, man. Like, they need to pull some magic out of their hat. They need to do something that gets people excited again, that gets people talking, that makes people like, you know, puts Xbox back in the conversation. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
There's been so much negative. And I think if they do the Xbox Showcase this weekend, just a status quo, it's like, oh yeah, we'll show another Fable trailer. Oh yeah, we'll show another trailer for this game. And people aren't like, it's like, yeah, just your typical. People are, it's just going to be another thing. They need to have that buzz. And the caveat is, when they have that Mad World moment, whatever it is, so let's just theoretical. They announce a Halo Battle Royale, right? They're like, hey, we've been working on a Halo Battle Royale. It's incredible. This is what, like, and they do a trailer that's just, you know, incredible. They have to deliver on that, because the thing that really made it happen, the Gears of War trailer was incredible, and then the game delivered. It over-delivered. And so that's where it's like a two-sided coin, and they have to like have that magic marketing moment, but then they have to deliver on it. That's obviously like, I don't know, that might be a little bit of a pipe dream, but I just feel like, what's going to get me excited? What's going to get people excited? Something to that level. Something that is just like, they need to have a moment, you know? And it might be and we can get into this, the announcement of the Xbox handheld. You know? That could be a moment. And that's something that I personally would really look forward to. But
yeah.
Anyways, I opened it up.
Yeah, I think if you've been listening to the podcast for a little while, you know that I've been absolutely no fan of Microsoft's marketing team and how they've been marketing not just the Xbox console, but also the games on the console and the exclusives. I just feel like they've just really dropped the ball in getting people to want to buy an Xbox and to play games on Xbox. Like the Madden World, I mean, that's one of like the best gaming ads like of all time. So like I feel like it'd be hard to
maybe
top
a steep
that.
bar.
Yeah, because it was just like such a special time, and then like with the leap in graphics from original Xbox to 360, like it just, that ad was like the right place at the right time with the right creativity and personality to like really just kind of transcend gaming. You know, it was like one of those kinds of moments, and it was so cinematic, you know, on top of it all. But to get back to like Xbox's marketing, like they just don't do anything. Like, who's leading that division? Like, who's putting out ads? Like what are you guys doing? Like, what I want to see from the Xbox Showcase is like, give me some kind of like creativity or personality instead of just like this absolute corporate bore fest of just like teaser trailers and
I'm in the tide, by the way.
Teaser trailers and just like, so I'm like really over just like this super professional, well scripted, we got to make sure this goes off perfectly. Like, where's like the personality of like the Xbox, and like what Xbox is, or at least used to be. Like if you go back and watch some like old school Xbox commercials, they are like so ridiculous and over the top. I watched one today. It was, it starts off with like a woman in labor in the hospital, and
of course.
And she's just like screaming, and she like takes a hit of her like laughing gas or whatever, and she's just screaming, and then she like pushes, and like this baby like flies out, and it like flies through the air, and it's going like 1,000,000 miles per hour, and it's just like flying, like just flying through the air, and as it keeps flying, like it's flying at like jet speed, like the baby's like aging. And so you see this like naked baby go from, a baby to like a kid, and then to like a teenager, an adult, and then like it grows into an old man, all while like flying through the air at like warp speed, and then it just smashes straight into a grave, and then ends with "Life is short, play more," and then it was like Xbox, like play more.
Good.
And it's just like, dude, like where is like. Is there? Are we ever going to see anything like that again? Any kind of like attitude or personality or like something that sets Xbox apart from just like being another just like corporate, money maker or whatever,
the
like
Microsoft gaming thing,
right? So I don't know. It's like stuff like that I'm like, I just want to see some kind of like personality. It's just like so lifeless and heartless, a lot of the games that I see today, but that's at least what I want to see, like from like from the presentation aspect, like the aesthetics of it, like
right.
I feel like there was such a like an overcorrection from back in the day. People are like, just focus on the games, because Xbox went with the Xbox One launch, went like really hard into TV, and then everyone's like, just focus on games. Like, we don't want to hear about any other features, blah, blah, blah. But now it's just turned into like one trailer after another, and it's like more games than like any like regular person can play. And now the consoles have like no extra features, and it's just kind of like, my PC can do way more now than a console can, when it used to be like a console could like play Blu-rays and do this and that, and have all these like social features, and I used to be able to like record video and post it directly to my socials, and do all of these like kinds of like cool features, and then now they're just like, nope, it's just games, trailer after trailer. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as like the presentation goes, with a showcase of like what I'm hoping it's going to be. But
so you want to see some return to form, get like that. We've talked about it a bit last or 2 weeks ago, just getting some of their identity back. Like, what is Xbox? Like we used to know what it was, but it's like if you asked me back in 2000, in the 2000s, like what is Xbox? Like, what's an Xbox player? It's like, oh, like it's the best console for shooters, as like the coolest games. It has some of the best graphics. It's like, I don't know. It just had an attitude. It had an identity. It meant like it meant something. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I think a return to that would be amazing. Again, I'm trying to temper expectations because, it's just
No, I have high expectations.
okay.
I have high expectations.
So I'm like
I am ready to get hurt
again. Yeah.
Without a doubt, I am ready to get hurt again.
Make no mistake.
Oh, make no mistake.
I mean, to your point, I do think it is fair to hold these companies to high standards. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, hey, we want more. Like, it's hard to accept less when you've had more, right?
Right.
And so we've had more before. And so it's like, we're not just like out here saying like, give us the unthinkable and whatever. It's like, no, like at least give us what we've already had.
Right.
And then, build on that. So there's been some rumors this week. Moving on to the handheld discussion. We've covered it extensively on the podcast. I saw some rumors, man, and even a Forbes article that said that the Xbox handheld will be a point of discussion, or like there'll be some type of announcement.
Yeah.
This weekend.
So
do you have any thoughts on that? Excited?
Yeah, so kind of the questions I have, I guess. Questions/hopes is, one, I'm curious if the hardware will actually be made by Microsoft. They have dabbled in hardware with, obviously the Xbox, but then also like the Surface and things like that.
Yep.
But I wonder if they might have more of a
21 million hit.
Jeez. Something more along the lines of like, trying to think of an example.
No! Sorry, I just died.
Oh, you died?
Yeah.
Something that somebody else makes, but it's like designed for Xbox. So that could be like, I'm totally
like Razer
blanking.
or something.
Yeah, or like they partner with like an already established like hardware maker to just like,
right,
kind of just like make it happen. And then the other kind of hope that I have for it is, I'm wondering if they'll release like a version, kind of like similar to like an iPad or Apple Watch, where they have like a Wi-Fi version and then like a one that you can add to like your cell phone plan, so that you can game wherever you have service,
internet,
basically. Because that is like, to me, would be really awesome. I mean, obviously not for any sort of multiplayer games, but just to like casually run dungeons or something on, Diablo or whatever.
Yeah, or run around on an empty planet in Starfield. It would be awesome.
Exactly.
How good is just random Starfield shade? Just for no reason.
Yep. Which Starfield's supposed to be getting like a big update, and maybe they'll actually make it fun and I'll play it, but who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? So those are kind of my like two things. Like I don't know how you make it like work with like any sort of like online like multiplayer or like FPS, but I think for more of the casual stuff and like I would definitely want to get one. Because I'm very much more of a casual gamer these days.
Yeah, same. And with the Diablo, it's like I would love to freaking. Yeah, I just think it's for certain games it would be perfect, And like you can't play Diablo on a Switch. There's so many things that like the Switch is just can't do, where it's like an Xbox handheld, a Steam Deck. Steam Deck has been something I've been eyeing for a while, but haven't pulled the trigger on. But man, Xbox handheld, and like we if you want to go back and look at the episode, I might try and link it, but we get into detail about everything we'd kind of want to see in an Xbox handheld. I'm excited if they announce it. I'm excited to see like
what would be really cool is
the integration.
Yeah, when I think about like the best handheld experience I've ever had, it was with the DS. And like the best things like we ever did with the DS was like whatever they did for their local I don't even know what, like their local like wireless network where if you had Bomberman and you had 8 DSs or something like that, it was a lot, all just kind of in the vicinity of each other. Like everyone could play Bomberman multiplayer, and like the way that like PictoChat worked, where if you were close by, like you could get onto a PictoChat server, and so I think would be
draw
like
penis.
So exactly, would be like so cool as if like you could just play like Halo like locally. Whoa. Like if you went to a convention and like you could just meet people and then just like instantly like have like a mini little LAN party, because that's what we do with the DS. Like we would just like be in the same room and like play stuff together.
That's true, we did. What games did we play together? I remember that. We would like all get our DSs and like because you could wirelessly just connect them all really easily. We would like
So I know like Bomberman was one. There's a handful of other ones. I'd have to like really think about it. It was so long ago. But
Pokemon was like
but it was like so easy to just like connect them, and just like,
and that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Granted, it was obviously a simpler time, and Henry's talked about that, is like our demand, like our hardware has gotten so much better, but also has the demands that we put on it, It's like the hardware's gotten insanely good, but to do some of that stuff that we did, we would need, what we're trying to ask of it is way more than what we were asking of a DS,
Right.
But to your point, I think it would be so cool.
Yeah. I think that too could be what's like missing from a lot of games. Is like the DS, like, it wasn't like a graphics powerhouse like the PSP was, but it still sold, I don't know, 5-10 times more than like the first PSP did or whatever, it was insane. But it had like the games, the exclusives, and then just like the charm, like the charm and the graphics and everything, the art style direction of games and the creativity of the games with the dual screen and the stylus. Like it was just like you could tell people were like legitimately trying to be creative and come up with new experiences and ways to like play games. And part of me wonders if maybe like Xbox is like limited by like just the current controller. I saw like rumors of maybe them releasing like their own kind of version of like the DualSense controller, having more, kind of ways to interact with the controller. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like, because it's really hard to think like, okay, what like new and innovative ways can like people play games that are like really fun,
Right.
There hasn't been, like, VR is probably like the latest one, which that hasn't really taken off, and is, I think, due to more to like cost and quality of the games on VR.
Yeah.
But, Xbox has kind of had like their Kinect and things like that didn't really do a whole lot in the same way like the Wii did. The PlayStation 3 had, their motion controllers and things that they tacked on to copycat that didn't do much, So, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to, like, I don't know, just, like, get people, like, excited to play games on Xbox. Like, what's going to be the thing that, like, says, yeah, this game is available on PS5, but like I want to play it on Xbox,
Yeah.
Because that was always the easy choice in the, Xbox, PlayStation, and GameCube era. Is like, oh well, the graphics are the best on Xbox, so that's like where we're gonna play it. And then the 360, it was like, well, Xbox Live, and then like the controller, and so like, that's where we want to play Call of Duty, and stuff like that. And then Xbox One, man, they really just like screwed stuff up, and haven't quite gotten their mojo back since then.
Yeah, such a bizarre thing to be like, run your cable through your Xbox, and it's like, do you know like who your demo has been the last decade?
Like cable doesn't even exist. It's all streaming apps, like
right. They totally like
didn't see that writing on the wall.
No, they misread that one massively, and it wasn't even good, because I remember I tried it, and there was like a lot of latency, and like it was not a great experience, like running your cable through and running your video through that port. I was just like, oh, this is not it. Yeah. And I immediately like undid it, and I'm like, no, this is just a gaming box. Like, I am not doing the cable thing. Because it wasn't a good experience. So yeah, it's
gonna go to the Tree of Mysteries.
Big weekend. Whispers.
Yeah. If I can warp out of here ever. There's too many guys spawning.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna run, get these mystery gifts. Go. I am excited about the handheld for sure.
Yeah.
A potential handheld announcement. I'm also really eager to see what? So I'm going to IGN Live. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm going to be in person at IGN Live. Phil Spencer will be there in person, confirmed.
Nice.
So after the Xbox Showcase, he is going to come out and talk about it, which kind of, I just now thought of this, that makes me think that there's going to be something good there. Like, there's going to be something big that he wants to personally talk about, because if it was another blase blah, yeah, we're just going to show a bunch of trailers, I don't think he's showing up for that, like in person to talk at IGN Live. It's not a pre-recorded thing. It's not, he's there to talk with the IGN guys about it. So that actually, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of gets me like a little amped up. Like, okay, why is Phil coming? What is so
Yeah.
important that he wants to be the one there to deliver the news, to talk to people in person? So that excites me. I'm curious to see what, if any, Halo is going to be mentioned, even if it's like, here's a trailer for the latest Infinite season, blah, 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 blah. Or, just even on the show floor, right? Like, what, if any, Halo's presence just in general. I'm very curious to see what they are pushing, like what do they want press and fans to be seeing and talking about, and see if Halo's like just a quiet presence, a non-existent. I think it'll just be very telling. So I'm curious about that. And then Ubisoft is doing a thing, and I don't know if you have any thoughts on this. Like a year ago or something, they just there was a little article released talking about the slow development of Splinter Cell. And we've talked about this in the past, and anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive fan of those games. Splinter Cell 1, 2, 3, and even 4, the Tom Clancy games. Just love them. And my long shot dream would be some type of Splinter Cell announcement, reveal, trailer. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm so thirsty that I would take just a pre-rendered movie trailer that's not even gameplay. I would just take something just give us something. But that's definitely definitely a pipe dream. Is there anything that you games wise that you're excited to hear about that will probably be talked about, or pipe dream that you're I really want that? Gears has been a big rumor as well.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm with you on the Splinter Cell. I think it would be, they have this backlog of original Xbox and 360 games that haven't quite been re-released or remastered in any way. So doing a Sam Fisher,
don't even say it.
Collection,
don't say it. Don't say it.
If Ubisoft was able to put together a package like that, and then have similar to Master Chief, have it all tied together, it would be pretty cool. There's talks of a Marcus Phoenix collection of the first 3 Gears games all being put together in one package, similar to Master Chief, and so you could play the
Hopefully it's nothing
multiplayers.
like Master Chief Collection, though. Hopefully it's good and working.
Yeah, I mean I like having all the single players bundled together and stuff. That's really nice. But I mean, with the Master Chief Collection, I never was really a fan of going from one game to the other in matchmaking.
Right.
They're just they're all Halo, but they're all different and play different, and different weapons and different maps, and so to go from Halo 1 and then all of a sudden you're trying to play Halo 4, it's just the very next game.
For sure.
For me is it's tough.
Yeah,
it already
it's jarring.
takes me 3 to 5 games just to warm up to play a Halo game, and then you're switching games every single game. I don't think it really works from a multiplayer perspective of these kind of collections and bundles.
Right.
So I mean, I would even be fine if they just did the single players and bundled them. Either that or do something where they like use the latest game and then just like remaster the maps, and I don't know, like Tony Hawk 1 and 2, where they took things from the first game and second game, you know,
Right.
so that you weren't playing Tony Hawk 1 without a manual or revert, and like, you know,
Right.
and then trying to play another, you know, play Marseille, and then it's like, oh yeah, I can manual and revert on this, but not on like the original warehouse or whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah, a Gears of War collection would be insane. If they like had all those campaigns together, I mean, and then you could go back and like also do multiplayer, and maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know how they would do it, how it would work, but that would create a lot of excitement. The Splinter Cell Sam Fisher collection would be nuts. And that's really cool because that's just like, dude, you already got the single player games on Xbox. Put them all on there. You got the campaigns. And then really a lot of your development time will be working on like getting that really cool, unique multiplayer really honed in and tuned in and locked in, you know?
Yeah.
The Spies versus Mercenaries. Like, I played that a lot. I had fun with that. Like, granted, like, back then on Xbox Live, you know, it started to get, like, really meta. So you would actually have spies, like, sprinting around, you know, and, like, trying to knock them out. And it wasn't like, you know, they didn't balance it like perfectly, and they weren't updating it and tweaking it. You know, they just kind of were like, hey, here's a cool mode, have fun with it.
Right.
But it could work, you know, and they could really hone it in to where it actually works well. And that would be a very creative, I think they could do so much with that. So like have that just simple multiplayer, and then just chuck all the campaigns in there that people can play. Stack it with 1,000 gamer score in there, maybe more. And I mean, again, it's like the whole Battlefront thing where it was just a shameless cash grab, and the game was trash.
I haven't followed up with that to see whatever happened with those Battlefront re-releases.
Well, they were terrible, and they had a lot of problems.
I know they released that way, but I don't know if like anything ever came of it, if they like fixed it or, you know, did anything worthwhile with it. But
I'm not 100% sure, but so there's so much potential, and this is like all like, swear we always come back to this, right? With the games and with what like Xbox has just in their roster, like, you know, Halo being the most squandered potential of all. But like, you know, Splinter Cell, Gears, all these things, Fable, right? That's one thing I would really love to see. I'm pretty pessimistic about Fable just based on the trailer that was shown. I do not have high hopes. It feels like it's already kind of going to be a bit of a miss. Just from the direction. What it gives me, what the Fable trailer gives me, this is exactly how I feel. It gives me the first Halo Infinite trailer vibes. Like, hey, here's this cool thing, new Halo, but then it's like the game ends up nothing at all like what they initially went for, and it's just a big wash. Because remember in the original Halo trailer, it was like it was like all this beauty and nature of Halo, and there was all these different like animals and different crazy things, and it was like it had a totally different feel. And then we got the game, and it was like, oh, it's just like land on top of these giant squares, artificial metal squares, and this is just like we run around in this pretty one-dimensional open world. Okay, cool. that's kind of how I'm feeling about the Fable thing. I don't have. It's just totally a feeling, nothing else. But I saw the trailer and I'm like, this feels to me like they're just trying to cash in on like everyone loves Fable. We're gonna give them something,
Right.
but it's like doesn't have the sustenance. Like it feels pretty substance. That's what I'm looking for. It feels pretty shallow to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Fable.
Fable would be great.
Yeah.
Any other games you?
Yeah, I mean, I have my like list of dream Xbox games that I'd love to see something, but I really, gosh, it's hard to even say anymore because it's just like I know this kind of stuff might not ever come out, and everything's just like so focused on sequels and AAA, quadruple A games that it's like they're probably like not gonna do like a Fusion Frenzy 3 or
that'd be crazy.
Something that's like just a little more fun. I don't know, fun. I feel like games like just aren't that fun, and I just don't want any more chores and things to do. Like I'm having fun in Diablo, just like killing stuff, and just killing stuff is really fun.
And upgrading your character and creating a bit of
character and all
build
that.
and identity. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like game specifics. It still just kind of like irks me that like Halo CE isn't like backwards compatible. I can't download CE like from the game store. So speaking of PSA, since the 360 store is going offline, all of the Halo downloadable content is free on 360. So for Halo 3, Reach,
that's amazing.
ODST,
so every map pack, every level.
Yeah, they made it all free on 360. So if you still have your 360s, download it.
That's awesome.
So you have it. But I don't know, stuff that like
just pipe dream, like in a perfect world.
Yeah, like in a pipe dream, perfect world. Like I'd love to see just kind of like older original Xbox games get like re-released or something like that. I've been really wanting to go back and play like Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, like Return of the King.
Great game,
and like,
great game.
If they brought back, stuff like that, that's more like, co-op-y and like play with a friend and, or play on your own, whatever. But it's just like really easy to just like jump into games and like play with someone. I don't know. It's, I guess, really like, I don't know. It's hard to come up with like something that's not totally covered by just like the live service genre right now, But yeah, I don't know. Give me a second because there's stuff.
Yeah,
but
they well, it's interesting you say that because I think about what's her name? Sarah Bond, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
The president of Xbox, what she said, and they've been talking a lot about their commitment to like game preservation is the words they use. And so it makes me curious, what their plan is, for that. They've been using a lot of that language. And so that is a point of frustration for sure when like especially for people who have been in the Xbox ecosystem for a long time. It's like I've been buying Xbox games for the last 15 plus years, and I can only play basically like, I can only play like a few of them.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much they're like going out of their way to try and secure those licenses and really fight to overcome those hurdles to give Xbox players like, hey, here's a big chunk of the Xbox library. Like these are the games that made you fall in love with us. These are the games that like got you on the Xbox train, and we're committed to giving you access to them again, And so if you have a copy, you can now play it, If you don't have a copy and you just want to like get a digital one, here's like all original Xbox games will be, significantly cheaper because they're old, and like we want to preserve the legacy of Xbox. I would love to see I would just love to hear more about like what their plan is, because they're intentional. Like they wouldn't just say, oh yeah, we're committed to games preservation and then not have any type of like follow up. Like they made that statement on purpose. There's something that they have planned for that. So that's another thing I would love to like see, because right now it's like I'm always asking, like, is there a good Xbox emulator that exists so I can, take my Xbox games that I already own and play them, Like I have a massive original Xbox like library, and a 360 library of games that we've purchased over the years. And if they want me to like be locked in on their console and spend my time here, just make it easy for me to play those games. Yeah. Just make it as easy as possible. So if they pulled some magic out around that, I mean, there's so many games. I think about like all the games we had. Like we had Blitz. I had a FIFA 2006 game that I absolutely loved. Fight Night Round 3. We played the crap out of that. Tiger Woods golf games. There's just so much there. And then you want to talk about 360. It's like you got all your, your Gears of Wars and, obviously like Halo and that stuff. But there's such a rich catalog that it's kind of a shame they just kind of like, I think they need to bring that to the new generation. Yeah. These kids don't even like know. And those games hold up too. Right. The good ones, they hold up. So I would definitely love to see some mention of, the catalog and what their plan is for preservation. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, here's a question. I'm going to be at IGN Live. Phil Spencer will be at IGN Live. There's going to be a lot of people there. My plan is, I have a camera, I have a mic that it's like a news reporter mic, right? So it has like the little flag on it. It's going to have the For the Win logo. And my plan is to do just a lot of like on the ground, in the field, a little bit of like reporting style, and I'm going to try and talk to as many people as I can and just get the vibes, talk to people, try and talk to developers, try and talk to people at booths, right? Like anything and everything. I applied for a job at 2K. 2K is going to have a booth set up. So I'm going to go ask why I got rejected from a job at 2K, why they denied my application. But my question is, if I happen to see Phil Spencer, walking off 50 yards away with his posse and security, and he's like on his way to the green room and he has to kind of pass through a section of the expo, and I happen to see him out of the corner of my eye, and we got the camera on and I have the mic running, what do I yell out to Phil Spencer, who's 20 yards away? What's the question that I try and get an answer to? I've been thinking about that all week. Like, if I had 30 seconds with Phil Spencer, because you got to be prepared. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm going into this weekend fully prepared. I'm really thinking through my content and what I want to capture and what kind of things I want to see, people I want to talk to. Blue Thunder's going to be there. So I want to just like chat to him a little bit in person, right? But then there's other Ryan McCaffrey's going to be there. Well, if he's going to be there and he walks by me for a second and I have 30 seconds, I better be ready with a question,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been thinking about. What do I ask Phil?
Yeah, what do you ask Phil?
The man who pulls the strings for the most part.
What do you ask Phil?
Leave a comment letting me know what I should ask Phil Spencer when I see him in the distance. By the way, while you think about that, at the beginning of every episode, we want to read the comments, and I forgot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I might clip this in at the beginning or leave it here. I don't know. But on the last episode we had, we were talking about Assassin's Creed and everything like that. And Bjorn Torsten 8241 left a comment and he said, "Great video. Love the channel. Assassin's Creed tends to always deliver, even in their bad ones or not as good ones. That's why it's my favorite. I think the pricing is ridiculous." He's talking about the 4 tiers of pricing. I was so excited for Mirage, and when I played it, I have mixed thoughts. It's an incredible game, huge, and love the throwback to Assassin's Creed 1, which I loved. So, anyways, thanks for the comment. John, you mentioned that you loved Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, we'll see what Ubisoft does announces
With
at
Shadows.
their event. Obviously, they'll have some Shadows information, but there's also the rumors that they're going to make Assassin's Creed like a live service, in that you have just this Assassin's Creed game, and then as new adventures come out, you just have the space game, and you just download the new adventures when they come out. So I don't know how all that is gonna work or look, but I'm really hoping to see some more of the Shadows gameplay. I think that'll be a big deal. As well, just kind of, the gameplay just trumps everything, right? If you don't have gameplay, what are you doing?
Don't have anything.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping to see from Ubisoft. I'm still just so irked by Ubisoft, not just with their pricing and everything, but with what they did with Skull and Bones, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of my favorite games, and playing as a pirate, and the ship warfare and raiding, and the ship-to-ship combat and getting on the ship and all of that combat. All that stuff was like so fun and cool. And Skull and Bones was supposed to be like this single-player, narrative-driven game that just like built on kind of that foundation of pirate gameplay. And like what we got was just not that at all. Instead, we got some live service game that flopped and nobody plays anymore. So I don't really expect Ubisoft to do much outside of Assassin's Creed right now. Like, I want them to do Splinter Cell and some of these other IPs that they have. Like, they have like the Tom Clancy games, right? But like Rainbow Six is completely live service now and subscription based. The Ghost Recon games have kind of not done well because they've also tried to be live service recently.
Right.
Outside of that, what are the other Tom Clancy games? I mean, there are some like RTSs. They had like End War and then like Tom Clancy Hawks, like the fighter jet game.
Yeah.
But they've kind of just turned all their stuff into live service games. And
like the Division has not done great at all.
The Division 2, like, it had like its time, but like I think they just kind of stopped supporting it, and people were disappointed because I think it had like a good, foundation, and then they just dropped it, and that's kind of the problem with these live service games is they're going to end, and you will lose everything, whether you like it or not. So
100%. 100%. Well, we have a couple minutes left. Let's is there anything else Xbox Showcase wise you wanted to hit on that we haven't hit on? That you've been thinking about? Or are we just gonna wait and see?
Yeah, I mean, wait and see. It's this Sunday, right? So
yep. And so next week we will recap the whole thing and discuss. We might need to go over an hour next week. I'm just saying, like, especially if there's anything decent, I think we'll definitely go over.
Yeah, that would be a good
maybe not.
thing
Maybe we can
if
fit
did.
it in.
Like that would mean there's
here's
good
hoping we have to go over an hour. The worst thing that could happen is we're just like, no episode this week, guys. We're just we're rethinking the pod at this point. There's nothing. Yeah. Hopefully we have something exciting to talk about next week. So make sure you tune in.
Yep.
Tune in for that. Definitely. And follow the For the Win channel. I'll link it in the description. I'm going to be posting tons of content from IGN Live on there as well. Well, For the Win Corner, what's been going on with you? What's the latest in John's world?
In my world,
yeah.
Well, I haven't.
You got a minivan.
Got a minivan. I'm now like a van owner.
Whoa!
It's great. It fits the kids and strollers and Costco runs and everything all in one vehicle. We were just in a Toyota Corolla before that, so it was very compact and tight.
Yeah.
But gaming-wise, I'm still frustrated that I didn't get to play Diablo on Friday night because Xbox Live was having issues. But I have found some time. I've been slowly making my way through Red Dead Redemption on 360. I haven't ever played all the way through that, so kind of playing the old cowboy western shooter vibe. And so far it's like I'm probably like halfway through the story, and it's like pretty fun. It can be a little tedious and frustrating at times. Like I hate dying in a mission and restarting a mission. And then like the horse can be awkward to use, and same with like the horse-drawn carriages and things like that. And I always forget, like it's been a little while since I played like GTA 5 or 4, but like the whole like fast traveling is a bit tedious. You know, I'm used to kind of more current games where you can just like press a button and travel to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
But, you know, kind of the goal is like the adventure along the way as like you're riding your horse to these different things. But,
right.
The horse has just been kind of annoying to deal with. So,
yeah. Well, and I'm sure I haven't played Red Dead 1 or 2. It's on my list, but I'm sure Red Dead 2, they just like fixed all that stuff and just made the game way better.
Yeah.
Well, that would be my assumption. I don't really know a lot about those games. They're on my list, but I assume that like all that quality of life stuff is probably way better in number 2. For sure. Well,
check. Can you hear me?
My big update, as people know who have been listening, I've been like looking for a job.
I just I think I lost power for a second and my internet reset. So I'm gonna sign off on my end, and we will see you on the next episode after the Xbox video game showcase. Hopefully we'll have some exciting things to cover. See you next time.
Okay, so here's the real life podcast. John just texted me. Just had a power outage. I recorded a sign off and ended my recording. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll wrap up there. But I have a potential job lead as a YouTube channel manager. Very excited about it. And I'll keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, that'll be great. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, make sure you follow the For the Win channel on YouTube. Going to be posting a ton. You can follow me on X as well and on Instagram. I'm going to be updating tons of stuff, posting a ton about IGN Live this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Very excited about it. We are going as For the Win podcast representing. And so, yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week after the showcase. Peace.